session of Ask Mr. Elrod, the YouTube video where you ask and I answer life's toughest questions. So, we'll get right down to it. Ladies and gentlemen, it has actually been a while since I have received an Ask Mr. Elrod question, and so I actually got this a while back from one of my YouTube viewers, and I figured that since somebody was willing and had a desire to ask the question, I would go ahead and answer it. So here it goes. Question is, Mr. Elrod, do you have a favorite YouTuber? Short answer, no. Aside from myself, I might be my favorite YouTuber, mostly because I would be biased towards myself and like more subscribers and viewers. Maybe if I put out more interesting content, potentially. There's always that. But anyway, so again, that was short answer. No, not really. Mostly because I'm terribly uninterested in what's going on with kind of the pop culture, social media realm. Now, there are things on YouTube I like to watch. There are people on YouTube that I like to watch. But it's mostly, it's not so much about the personality as it is about the content. There are certain things that I like to look at. And obviously with YouTube and the expansion of free material and free content that's available out there, that's great stuff. And I like the fact that people, free to me. I'm able to access it. So things that I like to, are categories of things that I like to watch. I like to watch videos about religion. I'm a Christian, so I enjoy certain things, especially people who develop commentaries on Christian ideas. John Piper, I like to watch some of his Ask Pastor John videos. I'm a big fan of Ravi Zacharias and his group, Ravi Zacharias International Ministries, and some of the things that they do in the debates they put on, stuff like that. I really enjoy a lot of that content. Politics. I enjoy listening to political commentators, not so much those who are out to shout and yell at people, and not just anybody. I like people who are more thoughtful and come through with thoughtful responses, even if maybe sometimes there's some contention. I like to see things on, I don't know if I call it necessarily philosophy, but certainly ideas. And the expression of ideas and explanation of ideas, and those could be on politics or religion, or along those kind of in that realm. So I enjoy watching that. So it just depends on who it is. It just depends on what it is that I happen to come across. I'm a sports guy. I'm a Georgia Tech fan, as sad as that can be sometimes. So if there are sports highlights, I like to watch, especially back now that Paul Johnson is no longer there. I am nostalgic for. Now, people don't like the triple option. I'm not so sure what their problem with it was, especially when it was running really well. People say, well, it's a boring offense. Well, any offense that isn't working is boring. It doesn't matter. I mean, go back and look at Florida State this past year. Not terribly exciting. I like watching old clips and highlights and things like that. I like watching some comedy stuff, just things that are funny here and there. So it really just depends. No favorite YouTuber per se. Going after particular content, so I'm looking and kind of picking around. SB Nation, I really enjoy SB Nation, some of the things that they do, especially when they do the beef histories or they do some of the highlights on specific individuals or statistical anomalies. I enjoy some of those just because they're interesting. I like to look at them. I will say, though, one of my major, with that kind of along the lines of that question, one of my major concerns / issues with people who have particular YouTubers they like to go after, and when I say go after, enjoy, have a certain level of popularity. A lot of it isn't so much about what they're adding to the community. It's more about just kind of getting it. Obviously, it's about getting views, no doubt. But it's really about just kind of the shock that they'll put out there, and just the crazy things and exploits that they'll do. And so that, to me, is kind of bothersome as far as what it is that people will gravitate towards. It's very low level stuff. And so even within that realm, you know, if you look at television or Hollywood or whatever, at least there, a lot of times there tended to be a buffer in terms of talent and things like that. Now there doesn't necessarily need to be any thought or talent. It's just kind of stuff that's out there. And so that to me is kind of frustrating and bothersome and concerning and all those kinds of things, especially some of the things that tend to get traction. I will say one of the things that I find really interesting about what specifically teenagers and things like that will watch. One of the things that I've noticed is that kids like to watch, or teens, young adults, whatever, they like to watch other people playing video games. And I really have a hard time understanding this. Now, I understand if like you're watching somebody to get strategy, like maybe they're a really good player, and so you want to figure out, you know, what strategy they employ when they're playing. But this idea just to watch them, yeah, no, I'm not getting it. Sorry. There's a lot better things that I could do with my time, especially since a lot of these guys, or you know, ladies, whoever, you know, it's profanity laced and it's just kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, no, just generally not terribly a fan of that. So anyway, short answer, no, with a little asterisk and just some explanation there. So that's the answer. That's my answer to that question. If you have any others, feel free to throw them out there on the channel, and I'll get them answered if you care. You may not care, and that's perfectly okay with me. So, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, as always. I hope to see you next time.